What's up, Kaz? We're live, brother.
D Hall, what's up, my man?
Another week that was. This is good stuff. One of my favorite weeks of the year, dude. The county week, right? You were over at West Moco. You were there last week. I was on Thursday. I broke down a couple tournaments last week. Had a couple guests. It was great. You pulled in great numbers just for the seating meeting. I was talking to Smitty about that. That's freaking awesome stuff, man. And how was your time out there?
It was good. It was a long 3 day, I should say 2.5 days. The seating meeting I was there for probably 2-3 hours Thursday evening for the seating meeting. It was pretty cut and dry. There were a couple discussions on some seeds, but other than that, it went pretty smooth. All the coaches there, for the most part, pretty good guys, and they get it done quickly. And then as for the tournament, it was exciting. Friday was a long night. I think we got done wrestling around 10. And then Saturday, that kind of weather came in, but they pushed everything up. Finals were at 2. We were out of there by 4:30. So it was a good weekend at the Westmoreland County tournament, which it always is.
No doubt. And I was over at the MAC tournament. Same thing, man. I snuck out there. That's always a good one for me. I was over there at Freedom High School. I know, pretty much all those coaches over there were on the preview show, and they're just all good people over there. Nice, tight gym, everyone on top of each other. Much of the same, man. Just kind of, I was talking to Coach Zeke Stroop, Freedom coach, before I went out there on, I believe I talked to him Friday, and I was like, "Do you have a schedule?" He's like, "Nah, buddy, we're just running it right through." I'm like, "All right, sweet." So, yeah, no breaks. They kind of just did a little parade of champions and ran right through it. So, good on them. But let's hit the theme music and just get right into the results. What do you say?
Let's do that, my man.
Welcome to the Near Files WPIAL show, where DL and Kaz are gonna tell you all the things you wanna know. Whether it's Trinity or Spencer Lee or Mr. Kurt Angle, just ask Vinny, WPIAL, yeah, Ken and Mac for sure. They got the interviews to soothe your soul, because it's Near Files in the WPIAL.
All right, dude. So let's get right into it. What do you think? We'll start over at let's start over my side over at the MAC tournament. We'll run through that real quick, and then we also obviously, I guess we buried the lead there on the intro, but we have two great guests coming on. I threw a little graphic together, threw it on Twitter, Instagram, and stuff. We have Cool Homet, who just recently committed and is back home at Waynesburg University. Just won the Fairmont State Invitational Open at 149 pounds for Coach McKinney. So, that was an easy ask there, and he's super excited to come on. We're super excited to have him on. And, of course, Luke Willochell, the 100 dub winner, had a great tournament. As always, we expected him to have a good tournament. The Trope had a great tournament. He wins his third championship out there. So, yeah, two great guests. But, Kaz, yeah, what do you think, man? West Moco?
Yeah, we'll start at 107 pounds. This was one of the kind of top heavier weights at Westmoreland County. Same top 3 or 4 as last year, pretty much. Cam Baker of Burl was your champ at 107. Nico Capusta of Hempfield was second. Dylan Barrett, Penn Trafford third. Your man Donnie, and Titus Colangelo of Franklin Regional was fourth. The freshman out of Franklin, and that's a very common thing you'll hear tonight, freshmen and Franklin Regional, because they have 5 or 6 of them, and they are all good.
And that's really interesting, man. We talked about that a little bit before we hit the play button. Always we look down and we're like, shit, it's 7:40, 7:45, because we were just talking about stuff we should be talking about on the show. But yeah, for sure, man. You mentioned that, and you look at some of the big, the veterans they have, the two guys that placed the Powerade, a combination with those freshmen. Franklin Regional is going to be dangerous, man, for sure. And, we saw it. They pushed Latrobe all day long, and so for sure.
After seeing that, Franklin Regional is definitely in that conversation as a team title contender.
Yep.
Now I think they are, and in a couple years they're even going to be stronger candidates for that.
Real quick, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
No, I said real quick. I'm just on my thoughts on that bracket. It was interesting to see the Burrow boy come out on top. I thought whoever was going to come out of that bottom side was going to take Cam Baker out. So good on Cam Baker to get that championship and get it done. Both, formidable opponents in Kapusta and Barrett. I thought Barrett was going to get that one over Kapusta. So good on Kapusta, good on Cam Baker. Those three, very, very tough wrestlers. And I expect to see all three, do big things at states and stuff. So.
Yeah, I feel like we see Kapusta and Barrett. I mean, they wrestled 5 times last year.
Yeah, dog fights.
3 or 4 more times this year. It goes back and forth every match between Barrett and Kapusta. They're both good kids, good hard wrestlers. The dads, I talked to both of their dads in the tournament, and they're both like, well, another matchup with Barrett, another matchup with Kapusta. It's like every weekend they wrestle each other.
Yeah, no doubt.
And they're great matches every time they wrestle.
Sign me up, good hard scrappers, tough kids that get it. You know what I mean? Sign me up for that stuff every single time.
So do you want to hit 107?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we could do that. Let me pull that up. I have it right here. Okay, so 107 at max. We had Bruce Anderchek of Quaker Valley take home the championship over Bryce Thomas of Moon. Cade Stern of West Allegheny takes home 3rd, and Caden Braun of Freedom takes home 4th place. Interesting little bracket here. You look at it. Really, where I initially was looking, you see another Bonnie brother from Central Valley. He emerges. He loses early, but he ends up wrestling back. He ends up getting himself on the podium. So I wanted to mention him before we could talk about his brother, obviously, here in a little bit. But Anderchuk's a kid that we've been looking at all year. He goes out and really just dominates his way to a championship for Quaker Valley. One of those guys that they've been leading on, just really put in some nice performances together at the 107-pound class. And I expect him to be one of those guys that is going to push Cam Baker, come WPIALs and things of that nature. But yeah, nice little bracket at 107 pounds at the MAC tournament. I lost you there, buddy. But did you hear most of what I said?
No, I got it all. Got it
Good.
all. I was the Boney, Angelo Boney, another Boney in there. Just adds another wrinkle into this 107 weight class. Not just in this bracket, but in AA in general. Anderchek, he was the 1 seed. I thought he would come out on top in this bracket. He does.
He looks fantastic too, buddy.
And we're going to 114 now at Westmoreland County. Your champ was Anthony Mucci of Derry. Your runner-up was Leo Joseph of Latrobe. 3rd, another freshman out of Franklin, Mike Ruane. And 4th was Carter Thomas of Burrell. This was an exciting weight. There were a lot of rematches and stuff in this bracket with, Ruane beat Thomas for 3rd and 4th, but earlier in the bracket, Thomas had beat Ruane. Mucci beats Joseph in the finals 8-4, and they wrestled in the Latrobe Dairy duel about a month ago, in which Joseph had won 5-2. So we saw a lot of results flip from the previous time. Mucci looked great. Not that Joseph didn't, but Anthony Mucci kind of looks like on another level. Might be the best kid in AA right now at that weight class. And there's some other kids right there, but I mean, he hasn't shown any sign of weakness or anything all year. So I was impressed with him. And then Nate Caracciolo of Hempfield took 5th, and Ivan Rtesic of Penn Trafford took 6th in this weight class.
No doubt. You look at that weight class for 114 pounds. I think I'm just really going to echo, I'm pretty high on the Dairy boys. They got a couple of guys that are really, really freaking tough. You can tell that they've been working out, all year, and probably rolling around with with head coach, blanking on his name. Tell me, Cass.
Coach Dolan.
Yes, Coach Troy Dolan. Thank you. And I'm sure that they're just figuring it out quickly. And I've just every time I see a Dairy result from that little group of kids that they have, it's always impressive. So. Good on Mucci to win the bracket here, and expect big things at him down the line. Okay, we'll go over to the MAC tournament at 114 pounds. One of those ones, we see Caden Harbert. He was at 121. He moves himself down. When we get the 2 pounds, he goes out and pretty much dominates. He goes and pins, I think, everyone in the tournament. He takes out Isaac Magaglia for first and second. Magaglia takes second. Shriver from Elwood City takes third. And Logan Ketzel from Laurel takes fourth. But yeah, pretty much this one, it was kind of one horse race. When I looked at this one with the brackets, I didn't think that Caden would have too much of an issue, and he didn't. So good on him.
Going to 121 pounds at Westmoreland County, the champ, who we are going to have on here momentarily, Luke Willochell of Lake Trobe. He beats Luke DeSantis of Penn Trafford in the finals. Luca Rosa of Burrell took third, and Ty King of Hemfield took fourth. Clayton Kramer of Kiski fifth, and Xavier Ross out of Valley sixth. Willochell, as always, looked great. Winner by fall. His win in the county finals was his 100th win as well, so congratulations to him. He looked great, as he always does. Kind of ran through the bracket. I don't think he left the first period at all. Everything was a fall, 40 seconds, minute 20, 56. So he looked outstanding, as always, and he's kind of just gearing up for the rest of the year because I know he has his eyes set on a bigger prize, but it is his third county title, so next year he will be going for his fourth, which will put him in a very elite category in Westmoreland County. Not many have done it, and he has a chance to put his name in that hat.
No doubt about it. And I believe he is right here ready to go for us, Kaz. We'll bring him on. I have a couple questions I'm definitely excited to ask him. So let's bring Luke in. What's going on, Luke?
Nothing much. How are you?
Doing great, brother. Doing real good indeed. First things first, congratulations on your third county title and your 100th victory this weekend.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, brother. First question I have for you. I got to know, what's the pin counter? Where are you at?
I think I'm at 72, 71.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're inching closer. I might have to put some graphic together, just like keep leveling that up, man. That's good stuff. Talk about that, man. Off that, why is that so important to you to just find a way to get the fall? It seems like in any position, you're trying to find a way to put your opponent in danger, put him in, get back points, or even, obviously get the fall. Where did you learn how to wrestle like that, and why is that so effective?
I feel I do a lot of play wrestling, and I get used in those positions. And I'm like a high flyer, so I wrestle with my brother a lot, and I just look for back points in any position I'm in. So I just feel that has a big effect on the pins.
Now, you got your 100th victory in the county finals. And next year, you'll be going for your fourth county title. That'll put you in an elite category. How special is that to have the opportunity to be in a position to have your name amongst some of the greats that have ever wrestled in Westmoreland County?
It's really cool. I think there's 15 four-timers,
I believe
right?
15, yes.
Yeah, okay. So, and there's only one in Lake Trobe history, so it'd be really cool to do that, and I feel it's very possible, and it'll be really cool to win the fourth one.
Who is the Lake Trobe wrestler? It's not Pletcher. I know
it's not. He lost to Mickey. I'm pretty sure one of these.
Oh, is it Cam?
I think it's Tim. It's like Tom or Tim Bell. It's from
Tim
like the
Bell,
60s.
okay.
Tim Bell. Yeah, 61.
You impressive, Luke. You know that name. Well done, buddy. So my next question I got, we saw Wyoming wrestle in a barn this year. I see a smile come onto your face. How excited are you to get out to that program and with your brother? I'm sure that's got to be exciting.
Yeah, it's really cool. I was actually at that event. I was in the barn watching.
Oh, you were there? Yeah,
I watched my brother.
How cool was that, dude?
It was sweet. I mean, it was loud, very loud. Every call was screaming, stalling, and stuff. Those guys were tired out there too. Those Campbell guys were tired because the elevation was so high. But it was really cool. I mean, just to see, the program's going in the right direction. I'm very excited to be there.
Nice.
Now, you mentioned about the elevation out there. Have you talked to your brother at all about kind of the transition he had to make? Was it a big transition for him wrestling out here? Now he's in the higher elevation. And is that something you're kind of preparing for already?
Yeah, I got a few workouts out there, but he told me it took him like 1 to 2 months to get adjusted, and then he came back out here for a week or two, and he said it was just so much better. He felt way more conditioned, and he was doing really good.
So Latrobe goes out and wins the title last weekend. I think for some of us, not necessarily a surprise, you guys win the third straight or whatever, but you look at some of the seeds, maybe not predicted. Talk about your team and how you guys seem like you're coming together at the right time.
Yeah, we looked at Franklin's roster, and we didn't have too much hope. We thought we could contend for the third title, but Franklin had a really good team. But our coach told us we need 20 pins through the whole tournament, and our team got that. And also our 160 pounder, he made the finals as a 5 seed, so he got us 20. I think actually it's 16 to make the finals. He got us 16 extra points that we didn't expect to get, so that was huge.
Yeah, Braden Bronson, he wrestled one hell of a heck of a tournament there.
He did.
Out of that 5 seed, had a couple big wins. He took the 1 seed out in the semis. Now, guys like Bronson and like Lucas Braun, some of the guys that people don't look at as kind of like your hammers, your bonus point guys. How important are guys like that to your team when it comes to a tough duel? Like you have Connellsville tomorrow. That's going to be a really big duel. How important are those guys in your lineup?
You need them to win. I mean, obviously, if you want to win a WPIAL title, you need guys like that on a team. So, it's huge to have guys like that. Like, we didn't expect him to make the county finals. He goes out there and honestly pretty much wins us the tournament. So, yeah, you need guys like that to have a good dual team.
Luke, you collect your 100th victory this weekend. I'm sure the guys look up to you in that room. Are you taking more of a leadership role this year?
I am, yeah. Me, Leo Joseph, Jake Braun, and Lucas Braun are the captains this year, and we've been trying to, have a good attitude towards the room, and it's really working. I mean, the first tournament of the year, we were kind of just like 13 individuals wrestling out there, but now in January, I feel we're one whole team wrestling. So,
good stuff.
And I mentioned you have a big duel with Connellsville tomorrow. Without giving too much away, how do you feel about that duel tomorrow?
Yeah, I feel confident. I mean, it's going to be really close. For once in a few years, we're actually the underdogs, so that's really cool. So we're just going to go out there and wrestle, but we might bump around a little bit. I don't know yet.
And that duel's at Latrobe, correct?
It is, yeah.
Under the spotlight.
Yeah.
Love
it's
that.
gonna be cool. It's gonna be a big one.
Kaz, I don't have anything else. Do you, brother?
No, just best of luck the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you.
Best of luck the rest of the year, brother. Appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us. Keep making those pins happen, dude. I'd love to see you get to 100. That's very cool stuff.
Yeah.
What is the goal, Luke, by the time you graduate? Was 100 always the number going into high school, or were you not setting a total on it?
I wasn't really setting a total on it until I got 30 my freshman year. So, I mean, 100 was the goal, but I think I could shoot for more, and I want to try to break a state record maybe.
Let's go.
I'm assuming you know what the state record is.
I think it's like 110, 112, something like that.
Ooh, that's doable.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. Luke, you're the man. Good luck the rest of the season. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. I'll see you. Bye.
All right. And that was Luke Willochell. Look at that impeccable timing by us. That's that's impressive, guys.
Mark Mears got to be pretty happy. He knows he's got 6 in his back pocket whenever he really wants it.
That's a nice little ace in the sleeve, no doubt about it. He's impressive, and you could tell like it's important to him for to get the fall. He looks for it. He's trying to find it at all times.
And you
You
know
don't
who
have.
he's just like his brother, because his brother did the exact same thing.
Yep.
He
No
put
doubt.
himself on his back if he knew he was going to get the fall. And just love watching him and his brother wrestle.
So cool to see that, or hear rather that he went out to that barn duel. That looked absolutely electric. I'm sure that was probably like the selling point. He's probably like, all right, done deal.
Yes.
Let's go.
he had told me, I interviewed him after his finals match, and he had said when he was out there, Luke's a big golfer. He plays a lot of golf with our good friend Eric Knoll. A lot of those Latrobe guys are golfers. And he said he took his clubs out and they played at some course up in the mountains in Wyoming. And he said it wasn't even like about golf. He said it was just incredible where you were at on a golf course. He said it was awesome.
Good stuff.
And as everyone knows, this is a big golf-friendly show here.
Oh, absolutely. Big golf-friendly show on the podcast. No doubt about it. All right, so where are we at? 121 at max.
Yes.
Okay, so this one, we look at this one and we see Antonio Bonney comes home and takes the first place medal. He beats Anthony Esposito from Montour. Cale Yannick takes home the third place medal, and Derek Allen from Elwood City takes home the fourth place medal. The big matchup, I looked at these brackets, and Antonio Bonney and Cale Yannick matched up in the semifinals, the 1-4 match. That was a 6-3. I was able to catch that as soon as I walked in the gym, which was great, man. That was a really good match. Bonnie's, tough as nails. He's one of those kids. He's very freaking similar to his brother. Heavy freaking hands, very good positional, and I just think that him, and we'll talk about the big guy here in a little bit, but, they got a nice little group over at Central Valley for sure.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen that match. I would have liked to seen that match in the finals.
Yep, me too.
Kind of surprised there, but Yannick from Moon is very tough, and we know about Bonnie. He's in an elite category. He's very good. And we'll go to 127 at Westmoreland Counties. This was a pretty cool story here. Your champ was Ty Kapusta out of Franklin Regional. Your runner-up was his Franklin Regional teammate, Chase Smith, a freshman at Franklin Regional. He was unseeded, couldn't score team points, and he runs through the bracket and makes it to the finals, where he wrestled his teammate. It's crazy the depth they have there. I know with how their lineup is, they do get Chase Smith wrestles in their duels. They bump up, do what they have to do. But he got to wrestle his teammate, which is the first ever in Westmoreland County, because it's only been a few years since you could add multiple guys. So credit to Chase Smith for running through the bracket till we saw his teammate. Julian Bertucci of Burrell took third. John DeLuca of Kiski fourth. Brett Klim of Derry fifth. And Jacob Halstead of Henfield sixth. Kapusta had probably the best interview I've ever done in my life post-match. He threw a burlap sack of onion quote out there, and it was wild. And then I found it was an inside joke because 2 or 3 other guys brought it up.
Of course,
it's kind of like an inside. Him, Eli Carr, and Juliano Marion, they all kind of threw it out.
High school kids think of weird shit, dude. They're goofballs.
Yeah. So it was a cool time. You got to see them interact. It was a pretty cool moment. Pretty funny. He had Smitty in tears.
Oh, I love that. No doubt about it. Yeah, man, good on Kapusta to get in the final, get it done. Definitely interesting when I looked at the results to see him beat his teammate, Chase Smith, obviously someone to, keep an eye on making the county finals against his teammate. But yeah, man, that's good stuff there. Let's see. Over at the MAC tournament, and I know we're not talking about the Tri-Cata, but we're going to get into that after we have our next guest on. Is that fair, Cass?
Yep.
Just for the programming notes out there. We are going to get into Tri-Cata, I promise you guys. We're just ripping through because we had Luke Willochell on there for the beginning part. So, anyways, at the MAC tournament, let me pull up my tab here. We had AJ Snatchko take home first place. Don Lindsay take home second. Dom Ciabanti from Carlington, probably butchered that one, takes home third. Ryan Prusta from Blackhawk takes home fourth. Interesting to see AJ Snatch go run through and get the championship for Coach Troy Regard. I know that he's one of those kids that Coach Troy's been pushing. So good on him to run through and get the championship over Don Lindsay in the finals there. So impressed to see that matchup.
At 133, at Westmoreland County, your champ was Jacob Braun of Latrobe, the recent Seton Hill commit, going to wrestle for Vinny D and our boy Jeff Shaw and Austin Shaw. So congratulations to Jacob Braun. He takes first. Your runner-up is Jake Stewart of Burrell. He is the sophomore. Then your third-place finisher was Nico Sarnik of Franklin Regional. Fourth place was Giovanni Beatrice of Derry. Fifth place was Caden Crawford of Burrell. And sixth was Logan Ventura of Penn Trafford. Braun looked really good throughout the tournament. He bonused his way up into the finals where he won a 7-0 decision. Sarnik wrestles back and takes third. There were two Franklin Regional kids in this bracket. Dom Kalazy was the 2 seed. He had lost in the quarters and then defaulted out the second day. I'm not sure if it was injury or whatnot, but hope all is well there for Kalazy. But yeah, Braun, your champ here, adding a lot of points for Latrobe towards their team title.
Good on Braun, and obviously happy to see him go to Vinny D and the Shaw Boys. Okay, 133 at the MAC tournament. Jack Gonzalez takes on the championship with a pin in 33 seconds over Logan Slovic over West Allegheny. Gavin McClure of Elwood City takes third, and Jacob Chacon of Montour takes home fourth. Jack Gonzalez, another one of those guys for Quaker Valley. We're going to talk about. They have a nice little pack of guys over there. And he's one of their main hammers. He's been impressive all year, picking up a lot of bonus point victories for Coach Austin Heinel. So good on Jack. I've been impressed with him all year, and I think he's going to keep doing big things.
Donnie, one question. I know you'll have an answer for this. Logan Slovic out of West A, freshman.
Yes.
He's kind of had a.
I believe he's a freshman. He might be a sophomore.
I don't want to say a quiet, but a name that a lot of people weren't familiar with. And he went to Powerade. I think he went 3-2 at Powerade. He pinned the number 8 seed. He upset 2 guys there. Makes it to the finals here. They got a nice young 33-pounder there at West A that people need to start looking out for.
It's good, man. It's without getting I could do a whole show just on West Allegheny wrestling, but he's just one of those cats that I feel like he's just going to keep getting better. Coach, I know that they have like a down on numbers this year, but the junior high team's coming, man. Junior high team's really good. So I think he's going to be a key cog, as that group gets a little bit older. He's going to be a key cog. And there's another guy coming up here in a little bit that, I'm high on too. So, but yeah, nice little group that West A has of some young guys mixed with, the veteran leaders like, Harbert and Taylor and things of that nature. Okay. Where are we at? Oh, you're up.
139 Westmoreland County. This one was kind of everywhere. The 1 seed Joe Longy of Mount Pleasant, he ends up losing in the quarterfinals to Jeremiah Guess of Derry. It was a wild match, one of the better ones of the tournament. This 3 seed lost in the quarterfinals. This bracket was everywhere. But Giovanni Waitman of Bell Vernon ends up winning the bracket. Out of the 2 seed. Another freshman out of Franklin Regional, Cohen Butriconi, takes second. Longy wrestles back and gets his revenge on Guess for third and fourth. Aiden Mulherron out of Ligonier Valley took fifth. And Logan Williams out of Hempfield took sixth.
Gotcha. Good stuff there. I thought that this was an interesting way to see. I thought that Longa had a good chance to make the finals out of the 1 seed. Seeing him get upset, another one of those Franklin Regional guys. Like we said, they really opened our eyes in this tournament, and Coach Matt Levy has them boys wrestling good, so good on them. Okay, so over at the MAC tournament at 139 pounds, we have Anthony Orlandini out of Montour takes home the championship. Elijah Thomas takes home second out of Moon. RJ Gustado of Southside takes fourth. Reynolds Braden from Freedom takes home fourth. Orlandini, another one of those guys that, at this tournament, 9 times out of 10 seems like you have maybe you'll have a good match here or there, but normally there's one guy that's out above everyone, and Orlandini was that guy in this weight class.
145 at Westmore.
Kaz bumped out there for a second, but he was talking about 145 for Westmoreland County. You look at this weight class, you had Mason Horwath take home first, Cole Doppelhauer take home second, Greg Shawless take home third, and Luke Anke from Franklin Regional take home fourth. So that was the top 4 there at 145 pounds for West Moco. Talk to me about it, Kaz.
Yeah, sorry, my technology is on the fritz today.
That's all right.
This was fun. There were a lot of good kids here. The Doppelhauer Shawless semifinal was really good. And then Doppelhauer gave Mason Horwath, a hell of a match in the finals here. So I wasn't surprised that Horwath won the bracket. I think most people would have picked him at this weight before the tournament. But credit to Doppelhauer. He battled him. He did some good things in that match. Again, Doppelhauer Shawless in the semis was probably the best match in this bracket, I thought. I believe I don't know if it went to overtime or not, but it was very exciting. So that was
the Doppelhauer Shawless was a 3-2 decision.
3-2 decision, yes.
Yep. So yeah, man, good on that. I went on a little bit at last week. Mason Horwath, he looks impressive. Obviously, the freshman. He's another one of those dairy boys that we've been talking about. Takes out the returning state champ, then goes out and wins the county title this weekend. He's on a tear. So another one of those boys that we definitely got to keep our eye on. Okay, MAC tournament, 145 pounds. This one I think was one of the better brackets, as far as level of quality. Everyone was pretty good in this one. So Matt Dana, the Quaker Valley sophomore, takes home first. Gabe Lilly of Elwood City takes home second. Rook Smith of Montour takes home third. Liam Costa of Moon takes home fourth. Matt Dana, interesting to see his road out of the 5 seed, knocks off a couple of nice kids. Beats the 4 seed out of Beaver in the quarters. Beats Chase Shepis 5-0 in the semifinals in a very nice match. And then beats Gabe Lilly 4-3 in the finals. So good on Matt Dana and Coach Austin Heinel to get him going and bring home a championship there for Quaker Valley.
At 152 at Westmoreland County, your champ was Eli Carr. Out of Hempfield, he won his 3rd title. Winner 1-0 decision over Jamison Paclembo of Mount Pleasant. 3rd was Logan Matricia Penn Trafford. 4th was Ryan Long out of Valley. 5th, Ethan Cartwright of Franklin Regional. And 6th was Ben Catullo out of Burrell. Carr ran through this bracket up to the finals. And then Paclembo gave him one heck of a match in the finals, 1-0. I wouldn't say Carr was ever really in a position to lose. I mean, he kind of controlled the match. But Paclembo looked really good in that finals match and leading up to it the whole way through the tournament. I mean, pinned his way to the finals. One of the better 1-0 matches I've seen. It was very exciting, nonstop action. So congrats to Eli Carr on being a 3-time county champ.
Yeah, good on Eli Carr. That was one of those matches when I looked at the pre-seeds and the brackets. I thought that those two were on a collision course, and to see a 1-0 match in the finals was not very surprising. So congratulations to Eli Carr winning your 3rd championship there. Okay, 152 pounds over at the MAC tournament. We see Nick Jones pick up the championship over Ilm Abrazov from Montour. Thaddeus Novak of Moon takes 3rd, and Ashton Main of Laurel takes home 4th. Nick Jones looked pretty good all tournament. I believe he pinned everyone. Yes. So Nick Jones goes out, pins everyone. takes home a MAC championship. He seems to be finding his way, man. This year, he seems to be in a good headspace. So good on Nick Jones, and we'll see how he keeps rolling down the rest of the year.
At 160, Westmoreland County, your champ was Stephen Perdina, a freshman out of Mount Pleasant. Out of the 2 seed, he was a 5-0 winner over Braden Bronson of Latrobe. Bronson we spoke about earlier. Bronson was out of the 4 seed. Landon Delara of Southmoreland, he took 3rd. Dylan Clayton of Penn Trafford took 4th. Pierce Turner out of Hempfield 5th, and Riley Shearer out of Kiski 6th. Bronson Delara 1-0 in the semis. It was a really good match. Again, Bronson kind of running through, stealing team points for his team, played a huge role in that. But congrats to Stephen Perdina, the freshman out of Mount Pleasant at 160. Freshman at a higher weight like that, impressive to see, and he fills that weight out, very well. He's definitely somebody to look out for in Double A at 160 pounds.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good on him to win that championship, and impressive to see Bronson knock off the 1 seed and sneak into the finals. Like Luke talked about, that's a very big deal for Coach Mears, and I'm sure that's a big part of why they were able to bring home their 3rd straight championship. Okay, over at the MAC tournament, 160 pounds, we saw Isaiah Pisano of Hopewell take home 1st. Gavin McRae of Freedom take home 2nd. Marcus Ritchie of West Allegheny take home 3rd. And Lewis Martzoff of West Allegheny took home 4th. Couple interesting notes real quick on this one. Pisano, the class of this weight, the UPJ commit. So excited to see what he does out there with Coach Reinhardt. McRae, a very worthy opponent in the finals from Freedom. I know that Zeke Stroop and Coach Tyler Alberts have been on him, trying to get him, better quickly. So he seems like he's responding well. And Marcus Ritchie gave him a nice match in the semi. So those are the 3 that I was interested in this weight class. And Pisano really flexed his muscles that he was the best guy. And, I think he has a nice upside. He's athletic. He's a smooth wrestler. And, they have a nice little coaching staff over at Hopewell too. So good on that.
172, Westmoreland County. Your champ was Hunter Snyder, the freshman out of Latrobe. 2nd place was Chuck Perkins out of Valley. 3rd, Elijah Brown out of Bell Vernon. 4th, Evan Ortman out of Kiski. 5th, Nate Barkley out of Derry. And 6th, Isaac Lasinski of Burrell. Both semis matches were highly anticipated, probably the best group of semis I've anticipated in this bracket. Perkins pinned Elijah Brown in the 1st period. And then Snyder Lasinski. Lasinski ended up defaulting from that match about 20 seconds in. We didn't see him wrestle the rest of the tournament, so hope for the best for him. Hope he's okay. And then Snyder Perkins in the finals. Snyder 12-8. Perkins gave him absolutely everything he could handle. There were a couple times Perkins had him on his back. The 3rd period was absolutely electric. But Snyder found a way to win it. But, credit to Chucky Perkins. He gave him everything he could handle.
Yeah, no doubt. Snyder's one of those guys. Obviously, I've talked to him about him a few times. He's another one of those guys from Latrobe I'm high on, the freshman. But yeah, good on Chuck Perkins to give him everything he can handle. I agree with that, man. I saw that match. I was able to pop that on right as I sat down before I went back and watched the rest of the finals. But yeah, that was a good match. That Snyder doesn't wrestle like a freshman, man. His ears are gnarly too. That post match interview, they were like, I was over at my cousin's house watching those finals right before the Steeler game came on. They're all wrestlers. They're like, dude, that's a freshman. Those ears are nasty. I'm like, yeah, he's got some balloons on the side of his head, no doubt about it. So yeah, it was good to see that match. And Hunter Snyder's, he's definitely just keeps on impressing. Okay. MAC tournament, 172 pounds. Sean Taylor takes home the championship. He beats Jay Sean Williams of Freedom for first and second. Jack Miles of Laurel takes 3rd, and Austin Guza of Hopewell takes home 4th. Good to see Sean Taylor get back on the mat after being out at Powerade, and he looked good. We ran through the bracket as he's trying to find himself, getting ready for the end of the year there.
189 at Westmoreland County, your champ Cooper Roskowski out of Kiski. He defeats Tasso Whipple of Penn Trafford 7-3 in the semis. Third, Brady Brown of Derry. Fourth, Troy McClellan out of Franklin Regional. Fifth, Austin Hoffman of Bell Vernon. And sixth, Zachary Sonutzer from Kiski Prep, Kiski School. Brown and Roskowski wrestled in the semis. Roskowski 5-2. That was probably my most anticipated semis match of the whole tournament. Both guys are high pace. I thought that was going to be a clash right there, and it was. It was a great match, and Roskowski came out on top. And I was happy to see Brown. Brown took his first loss of the year, and then he came back and won 2 straight matches, took third, responded great after taking his first loss, and did what he had to the rest of the tournament. Looked really good doing it. He looked really good against Roskowski. They're probably not going to see – they're not – at 189, so we got to see that a little early. Credit to both those kids. It was a heck of a match, and they both towed the line and went at it. So props to both of them.
Yeah, man. When I looked at that bracket when it came out, I was definitely very interesting to see that Brady Brown Cooper Roskowski semi. We've been talking about the Derry boys and that group of freshmen that they have. And Roskowski is just one of those guys. He's a veteran of the WPIAL now. He's been there, done that. So I'm not surprised to see him get the victory. But like you said, good on Brady Brown to come back. And those sad matches in the losers bracket suck sometimes, and it's really good to see him respond well and come back and take home third place there for Derry and continue to look good. Okay, so at 189 pounds, the MAC tournament, we had Slayton Williams of Southside take home first over Cam Simon of West Allegheny, the young freshman. Colton Carlson of Laurel takes home third, and Chris Brown of Quaker Valley takes home fourth. This weight, it was interesting. No real favorite or hammer, I would say. Slayton Williams takes home the championship. Good on Cam Simon to go out and get in the finals there, the freshman for West Allegheny. I know that Coach Troy's been pushing him, so good on him responding well and getting into the finals. But yeah, that's that for that weight at the MAC tournament.
215 in Westmoreland County, your champ Julio and Marion of Franklin Regional. Second was Abram Taylor of Kiski area. Third, Cody Crawl out of Latrobe. Fourth, Luke Breyer out of Bell Vernon. Fifth, Luke Boylan out of Burrell. And sixth, Caden Shannon of Southmoreland. Marion wasn't really in a position all tournament to lose. He had a pin in the first round, 17-second pin, 23-second pin, and then a major decision winner in the finals. So he showed why he's one of the elite guys in the WPIAL at 215 pounds. Did what he had to do. So credit to Marion. He looks good up at 215, coming up from 89 last year.
Yeah, man, Marion is definitely one of those guys that we saw that Marion and Jake Conroy match this past week. 215 slowly starting, and we're going to talk about it here in a little bit, but there's some really good guys at 215. And this is one of them. He's on the double A side, but he's one of the best in the state, in my opinion. Brennan Morgan of Central Valley takes home the first place championship at the MAC tournament at 215 pounds over Braden Suter from Carlington. Aries Histanos of Quaker Valley takes home third, and Alex Douche of Montour takes home fourth. Brennan Morgan, dominant, just decked everyone. He's impressive. One of my favorites to watch. Just doesn't wrestle like a 215 pounder, and
No.
That's how a lot of these guys are, man. It's pretty impressive.
And rounding out Westmoreland County, the big boys, your champ Dylan Pitzer of Mount Pleasant, your runner-up Jake Govern out of Southmoreland. Third was Ryder Ekus of Kiski. Fourth, Perry Riggle of Bell Vernon. Fifth, Aiden Kuhn of Burrell. And sixth, Marco Scarton of Latrobe. Pitzer pinned his way through the whole tournament, never left the first period. 17 second pin, 17 second pin, 40 second pin, 27 second pin. So, assuming my math is correct, he didn't wrestle a full period combined all tournament. He looks really good. He's such a problem at heavyweight. He's so tall, so long and athletic. He's an issue at heavyweight for anybody just because of his size and his athleticism. Fun to watch wrestle. Very
Like we
fun to
just
watch
said,
wrestle. He's turning into a force to be reckoned with.
like we just said about Brennan Morgan, doesn't wrestle like a heavyweight, doesn't wrestle like a 215-pounder. Long,
Yes.
lean, hits ankle picks, hits long cradles, dude. He's very, very impressive to watch.
It's
And,
fun watching these big kids like they wrestle like Morgan and Rune and like Boylan out of Burrow. A lot of these people, they're bigger kids, but like when they're on top, they throw legs in. Like you don't see that a lot at those heavy. And the kids are getting more athletic and more athletic at these bigger weights, and it's fun to watch.
Oh yeah, man. Gone are the dancing bears of my days, where you could just go out there and a point was basically a touchdown. You know what I mean? So it's good to see that the level is going up. Now we still have traditional heavyweights, no doubt, across the WPIAL, but it is good to see those guys, those really elite guys, and that's what you want in a heavyweight. A college guy's looking at those heavyweights and he can hit any move in the book there, and it's obviously something that those guys are looking for. So over at the MAC tournament heavyweight rounding out this one, we see Casey Wilson of Laurel take home first, Henry Barbish of Carleton take home second, Cam Dana of West Allegheny take home third, and Chase Kretzler of Quaker Valley take home fourth. Good on Casey Wilson to win the championship here out of the 3 seed. Kind of a wide open weight class here. Wasn't really sure who was going to emerge. But yeah, good on the Laurel product to get the job done and break through and win the championship at the MAC tournament there.
Casey Wilson, only a sophomore. That's a name we got to keep our eye out for. Laurel seems to always have some big kids. With they had Mitch Miles for those years at heavyweight. They always have some big kids in there. So definitely keep an eye out for him, Donnie.
100% agree. Yeah, they seem to have that group of. It seems like they have every single one of those kids are pretty big too. I don't know if they have a good strength program or what the case. I should have asked Coach Renia that when I had him on Areno. I can't remember how to pronounce it now in my head, but I should have asked him that when I had him on. But yeah, they seem to have a nice group of bigger guys there over at Laurel. What do you think, Kaz? You want to move? Do you want to touch on what was the Bo Wood tournament before we move?
Yeah, I don't have that up. I have the Tri-Cata tournament up on my screen here.
Okay, let me pull it up. You could got the Tri-Cata. I got the Bo Wood. I mean, we don't have to spend a lot of time on it. I think there was maybe 2 or 3 teams from the WPIAL there.
The Baldwin, Indiana, and I'm drawing a blank on who the third was.
Hold on, I got it. Baldwin, Indiana, and Penn Hills. So Baldwin takes home second. We go down and look at the results there. They had a nice 4-pack of guys that went and won the championship for them. Owen Klodowski pinning Carter Putt of Indiana. That was cool to see. That was impressive. Islamov continue his tear. He wins the championship. Del Rosso at 152 pounds, he wins the championship. And Keith Minson, he wins the championship at 160 pounds. So, yeah, man, nice little group there for Baldwin. I've been on them all year. Not necessarily maybe the best dual team, but a great individual team, I feel like.
Yeah, they have a squad there with some guys that are going to score them points. Minson's having a hell of a year, so is Islamov. So they're definitely one to keep your eye out on. They're going to be fun to watch at individual WPIALs and that because you're going to see Baldwin guys, left and right.
Yeah, man, interesting. We see Minson. He committed to Mercyhurst. Yeah, and Coach Whaler up there. So interested to see how he does up there when he gets up there. And I know that I think a couple of those other guys are uncommitted. So we'll see who snags them as the process goes along here. So I believe we have our man ready. I don't know. Yep, there he is. So before we get into the Tri-Cata, let's have a dude that's wrestled in the Tri-Cata a couple times. But man, super excited to have him on the new Waynesburg University 149 pounder back home, Mr. Cole Homet.
How's
What's
it going,
going on, brother?
Good to see you guys.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Cole, super pumped up to have you on, dude. First things first, man, welcome home.
I appreciate that. I'm glad to be home.
For sure. So talk about your tournament, man. You go out and you win the 149-pound championship over at the Fairmont State Invitational. What did it feel like to strap up, with a Waynesburg W on your chest again and go out there and get a victory?
Man, it felt real good. It's just good to be back home. Aaron McKinney's a great coach, and it's just a good environment. It's a better place for me to be at. I'm just glad to be here, man. I'm blessed to even be alive, let alone have the opportunity to wrestle. So putting on the Waynesburg singlet felt good. I felt sharp on that day, and just looking to continue that.
How emotional was it for you, winning this tournament? It was I believe your first tournament championship since, everything you've been through. How emotional was that for you? Not only stepping on the mat in the tournament, but, getting the gold.
Man, it felt good. As far as like emotional, I feel like I kind of expected it. I feel like I've been training for it for a long time, and felt like it was almost overdue. But it felt great. I think the last tournament I won, I was talking with my pops, was probably Powerade back before everything happened, and I just felt sharp, man. Like, just the wrestling was clean, and it felt awesome.
So I got to ask you this question, buddy. I talked to Aaron last week. We were talking about you. He told me you were coming over, and you had mentioned to him that you are a way better wrestler now post injury than you were before. Talk about that. Talk about your maturation process and how you've grown as a wrestler even post this injury.
Yeah, well, I mean, having to learn how to wrestle with one hand is definitely a challenge. My hand is still paralyzed, so it's taught me just so much about myself as a man, my character, but even more so in wrestling. Like, you really have got to. I've really had to make some changes in my lifestyle, the way that I wrestle, the way that I score points, positions that I want to be in and don't want to be in. So I think that it's elevated my wrestling to a whole new level. And I really feel like I'm just starting to scratch the surface, being that this is the first year that I've really trained seriously for college wrestling.
All your
Dang it, Cass. His stuff's been going in and out. He'll be right back. So the next question I have before he jumps back on, here he goes. I'll leave him to him. Go ahead, Cass.
My internet's bad tonight. All your years in the Waynesburg High School room, with all the names of Mac Church and Rocco Welsh, how did having those practice partners day in and day out over 4 to 6 years prepare you for the college level?
I mean, even longer than that, probably for about 14 years, since I was 6, 7 years old, wrestling those guys every single day, has prepared me. I'm just blessed to even have had a room like that. The coaches that I've had, always had fantastic guys who were pushing me. I mean, there were days where we would fight. I mean, literally throwing hands, fist fighting, because of how much we all wanted to get better and grow and succeed. So having those guys, and there's so many, I couldn't even name them all, has absolutely helped to elevate my wrestling to a new level.
Cole, I see on your Facebook all the time you're out there cutting grass, you're doing landscape. Show a little plug out there for your business, buddy.
Well, my business is called Sancho and Sanchez Lawn and Landscaping, and we mow yards and do landscape. So I'm still even working now in January. I have consistent work, which, is surprising, but I'll do just about anything and everything that people ask me to do. I'm just a hustler, and I've been very fortunate with that, with having a sort of a name in Waynesburg through wrestling and through some of the things that have happened to me. It's really been successful. So truly am blessed with that, to have work and be able to run it on my own schedule and my own time. I go to class and I go to practice and I go to therapy, and then I work the rest of the day. So things are awesome.
So with everything you've been through on and off the mat, all the highs, the lows, what's some knowledge and some experience that you can pass on to maybe some of the younger guys in the Waynesburg college room, some of the young kids at the Waynesburg high school program? Like what can you offer to them knowledge wise after everything you've been through?
I think the first thing would be gratitude and really having appreciation for even having the opportunity to do it. I've learned, and it took me going through this to learn all this, that tomorrow's not a promise. You never know when your last day may be. So you better damn be sure that you're grateful that you even have the opportunity to do something like that. And I just love doing it. The second thing I would say is to not be so caught up on the wins and like your own pride and your own ego involved in it. It's really just about getting better each and every day, whether that be in a wrestling aspect or as a man, that's just the things that I try to focus on. And so some of those guys who are in that room, and there's lots of them, but I really just try to pass on things like that. Not like, oh, it's all about getting the wins and the titles and this and that, but it's about getting better as a man, and the wrestling will come with that as you try to evolve yourself as a human being. And but 100% number one, being grateful is what has carried me all the way to this point. Just being thankful that I'm even alive, let alone get the opportunity to wrestle. So
very well said.
Very well said indeed. I don't have anything else. How about you, Kaz?
No. Well, what's coming next with Waynesburg? What duels coming up, schedule wise? What's it looking?
So this Thursday we wrestle St. Vincent at St. Vincent, and
I will be at that match. I'm actually
let's go.
Westmoreland Sports Network will be covering that, so I will be there
with them.
So I will we'll definitely catch up there.
Good deal. And then this Saturday we travel to New Jersey. I believe it's for a tri meet. I'm not even sure who we're wrestling. I try not to get caught up in any of that. Maybe that's another tip I could give is I don't look at rankings. I don't look at names. I look at when I step out, all that I can control is what I can control. So I'm not worried about what the other guy's done or his accomplishments. I'm just focusing on what I can do and being the best version of myself when I put myself out there.
Ready to strap it up. I love that, dude. That's awesome.
I try not to be concerned with anybody else, just only myself and my own teammates and how we can get better.
Love that. And by the way, it is NJCU you guys are traveling to out there.
Sweet.
So, but good luck this weekend. Good luck on Thursday. Pumped up that you guys are going to be on WSN. That's awesome. Kaz, anything else?
I'm all good. Best of luck the rest of the year, Cole. Thanks for hopping on with us.
Thank you guys very much. I appreciate this opportunity. It's been awesome. You guys do a great job.
Thanks, Cole. Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes. I appreciate you guys too.
Yeah, we'll be following you.
Appreciate that.
Wow. What an interview, buddy.
Very well spoken. One of the better ones we've ever done. You could tell how the traumatic incident that he had, how that's just kind of opened his eyes to I don't want to say to a new life, but a new appreciation for
perspective.
Everything it really hits you and makes you see like, wow, like how far he's come physically, mentally through it. Credit to him. That's one hell of a story. And
and he's a grown-ass man. He's got his own business. He just talked about his whole day, going to class, going to therapy, going to practice, got his business to run. That's a Waynesburg way. Those guys down there, they know how to work, and that's all that they know how to do. They get after it. And, I'm so happy for him to find his way home and wrestling. And that's going to bring, obviously I'm close with Aaron, right? That's going to bring people into their gym, bring a little excitement to their program. Aaron's got a leader that he can lean on for the future. So yeah, man, just excited for all things around in that situation. Yeah, very pumped up. Cole was able to come on and hang out with us, man. That was awesome.
So do we want to give our wrestler of the week out?
Do you want to rip through Tricatas and we'll do it
as? Yes, I forgot about that. We have to rip out Tricata.
I'll do 107. I have it up already.
Yep.
Nick McGarity, the freshman from Peters Township, takes home the 107-pound title. Noah Collins from West Green takes home second. Tucker Main of McGuffey takes home third. And Darius Simmons from Burgerstown takes home fourth. McGarity, one of those guys that, we saw early in the year at Chartiers Houston, looked pretty good. Looks great. Tested a little bit against Maine in the quarters, but other than that, Tech followed the rest of the way and takes home the championship for Peters Township.
At 114, your champ was Brock Dennison of South Fayette. He defeated Floyd Huff of Waynesburg in the finals. Jake Wright of Trinity took third. Connor Pinchuk, Jefferson Morgan fourth. John Whitehead of Peters fifth. And Justin Steingrab of Ringgold sixth. Dennison, your winner by fall in the finals over Floyd Huff. A name that kind of burst on the scene last year in Brock Dennison, and he's off to another hot start this year.
No doubt about it. Okay, 121 pounds. You look at this weight class. Collier Hartman takes home the first place medal for Kenan McMillan. Dom Canali, second for Trinity. Kai Sheptick of Waynesburg takes fourth. And Drake McClure, our former Wild T winner, takes home fourth place for Bentworth. You look at this bracket, man, these semis had to have been one of the best in the entire tournament. Canali over McClure 8-6, and Hartman over Sheptick 5-3. And Hartman able to get the championship over Canali 6-5 in the finals. Very nice contested bracket there. That little 4-pack of guys. Good stuff on them.
127, your champ, Chris Vargo out of Bentworth. He defeated Andrew Benny of Cannon Mac 5-4 in what was probably the premier match of this tournament. Johnny Baiano of South Fayette took third. Dylan Slovic of Burgettstown fourth. Nate Harrison, Fort Cherry fifth. And Brody Wagner of McGuffey sixth. Vargo Benny 5-4. A match that they wrestled 10 times. It's probably 5-5. Two of the best kids in the state. Benny scored 26 points in the semifinals match. It might be the most I've seen all year. So very top heavy in this weight class. Those top four are all, state caliber guys, national caliber guys with, Vargo and Benny.
No doubt. Yeah, I was definitely interested to see how that matchup goes, double A versus triple A. Vargo is one of the best guys in the state, no doubt. And I think coming down the state time, it's going to be interesting to see who's in his weight class and see who he has to battle. But, I'm sure he has a bad taste in his mouth after losing the last matchup of that rivalry with Warnock last year. So, yeah, man, I'm excited to see him just going to tear down the line there. Okay, 133 pounds. Parker Senapal of Burgettstown. I believe he won his third Tricata tournament. So good on Parker. That's awesome stuff. He beats Vincent Benny of Kenan McMillan in the finals. Lucas Barr takes home third, and John Radner of Peters Township takes home fourth. Lucas Barr out of McGuffey there. So Parker Senapal looked good all tournament, picks up his third championship, and beats Vince Benny in the finals 8-0 there at 133 pounds.
At 139, your champ, Blake Reiner of Trinity, the Davidson commit. Is really good that I expect to hear more and more of every
Run down
week.
what you said there, buddy. You blacked out there a little bit.
The Caleb Patton out of Washington taking fifth.
Yep. Okay, I lost you there. So real quick, because Kaz is struggling with the internet tonight, but Blake Reiner takes first, Gavin Sweek is second, Ryder Joseph third, Peter Levenis of South Fayette takes home fourth, and Caleb Patton of Washington takes home fifth. That was, I believe, who Kaz was going to talk about here.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry to everyone. My
it's all right, buddy. We'll get you all squared up.
Good tonight. Caleb Patton, a name watch out for out of Washington. Kid is really good, and
we lost you at the end there, but that's okay, buddy. Let's move on. Yes, Caleb Patton's definitely good. I saw him at the Burgettstown Dole. He's starting to come along good. for the boys over there at Washington. 145 pounds. Owen Ivich of Bentworth takes home the championship over TJ Allison. Talon Mazenko of South Fayette takes home third over Christian Lothar of Ringgold. Owen Ivich, TJ Allison, obviously, I feel like the premier matchup of this bracket. Ivich winning the championship there.
And we go to 152. Your champ, Rudy Brown out of Burgettstown. Your runner-up was Chris Sabrone out of Peters Township. He wins that match 9-3 is Brown. Third place was Hilliard out of Albert Gallatin. Fourth was Jesus Chavez out of Chartiers Houston. And fifth and sixth, you had Brenton Barnhart of Jefferson Morgan take fifth, and Mason Orbitz of South Fayette takes sixth.
160 pounds. Chase from Millie of Jeff Morgan takes home the first place medal over Brock Evans of Waynesburg. Luke Dunlap takes third. Darius McMillan of Peters Township takes fourth. Eric Kovach of Burgettstown takes fifth over Jack Duncan of Ringgold, who takes home the sixth place match. Interesting to see Chase from Millie of Jeff Morgan rip through the bracket here. There were some good opponents. Luke Dunlap in the semis, and then Evans in the finals. I was interested to see how that Evans-McMillan match was going to go down there at 160. Evans gets the victory 2-0. And Vermilly really just downed Evans in the final 7-1. So, yeah, interesting results there.
172, Braden Welsh of Fort Cherry, your champ. No surprises there. Reed Teagarden of McGuffey second. Parker Nave of Peters Township third. Gavin Minson of Ringgold takes fourth. Braden Taggart of Bentworth fifth. And Landon Conroy of Albert Gallatin sixth.
189 pounds. Vitaly Daniels takes on first with a tech fall over Anthony Salvini of Fort Cherry. Jake Stevenson of Waynesburg takes on fourth over Jacob Lehue. Owen Conroy takes fifth, and Caleb Bebout of Peters Township takes on sixth. Interesting one here to see Salvini beat Lehue in the semis. I know that was a match. I believe that was the reverse result. I believe Lehue beat him earlier in the year. So cool to see Salvini get the victory there. But Vitaly Daniels just too much. Just looked good all tournaments. The major over Stevenson in the semis, and then the tech fall over Salvini in the finals.
215, a lot of depth here. Your champ, Gino Calgaro of Cannon Mac. Second, Jake Conroy of Ringgold. Third, Colin White of West Green. Fourth, Adam McInerney from Jefferson Morgan. Fifth, Levi Heath of Jefferson Morgan. And sixth, Brody Kuzer of Burgettstown. Calgaro 6-3 over Conroy. Those are two of the top 3 or 4 guys in AAA. A match we're definitely going to see again this year at some point. Calgaro is a sneaky guy, man. He's beaten a lot of good kids over the years. Feel like he doesn't have his name out there as much. I know he's a football guy, but never count him out. And he just, he beats Jake Conroy, who was one of the top 2 guys. Him and Marion. Conroy, Marion, and Calgaro are all like right there in AAA. So nice win for Calgaro.
Couldn't agree with you more there, buddy. Echo everything you say there. I'm really excited to see the 215-pound class and how that plays out come state time there. Okay, the last bracket of the night, Tricata. Roan Tustin takes home the first place medal over Joey Baronic of Burgettstown. Joe Wilson of Washington takes home third. Mason Sizzler of Jeff Morgan takes home fourth. Landon Heath of Jeff Morgan takes home fifth. And Alex Russ Lusco of Bentworth takes home sixth. I know Joey Baronic picked up his 100th victory this weekend, so good on him. But really impressive weekend for Roan Tustin. Pins Joe Wilson, who we are both high on in the semis, and then goes out and beats one of the veterans of the WPIAL class, of the heavyweight class, in Joey Baronic, 3-1. So yeah, impressive weekend for Roan Tustin.
And the last thing before we wrap the show up, our Wrestler of the Week award. Donnie, do you want to do
Sure.
the honors here?
Sure. I this was a tough one, dude. And you
Very
can
tough.
kind of we went back and forth literally all day right before we hit the play button. Calgaro was on there, him coming out and beating Conroy. Senepal getting his 3rd championship was on there. Luke Willochell was on there, him getting his 100th and his 3rd championship. Horwat obviously had a great week with beating Cooper Smith, and then him going and winning the championship. Ultimately, we decided on this guy, Rudy Brown, wrestler of the week, the WPIAL winner. 2 pins, 2 major decisions. So good on him. And yeah, I like Rudy Brown, and I think that he wrestled great all weekend. Got his 100th victory in the process of winning it, so that was a big part of it. Bringing home the century mark and winning the tournament for Burgettstown, and Burgettstown won the tournament. So all those things combined, we gave Rudy Brown the nod. But man, this is one of the more tough weeks that we've gone through.
Yeah, it has a lot of results. We're getting to that point where there's a lot of big matches. So big matches mean big results, and that's where we're at. So congrats, Rudy Brown. I believe, D-Hall, you're going to be at Burgettstown this weekend.
Yep.
Correct. So you will be able to give him his shirt. We'll tweet everything out. So congratulations, Rudy.
Yeah, no doubt. And Luke and Nate, I have sent your shirts out. It took me a little bit of time. I just sent them out yesterday. So you should get your shirts sometime this week. But I appreciate you guys. And don't forget, keep in the back of your mind, August Mizia, he's going to be coming on and giving out his award. I believe he's going to pick from the WPIAL winner. So if you are a WPIAL winner, you're entered to win the Beef Steak of the Month award. I believe that's what he's calling it. So excited to have Mizia on and see, who he's going to give a big old piece of meat to.
August the man.
No doubt.
Well, we're at about the hour 15 mark, right around where we're typically at. So again, thanks everyone to tuning in. A lot of good duels tomorrow throughout the WPIAL. A lot of good tournaments this weekend. I know Burgettstown's this weekend. What else we have? Connellsville duels.
Midwinter Mayhem's this weekend.
Mayhem.
Yeah, there's a couple good tournaments this weekend. There's Burgettstown, like we said. So there's going to be Escape the Rock. No one's out there. So there's going to be a lot of good action, no doubt. But as for tomorrow, if you guys ever have questions, one quick thing before we leave you guys go, and you don't know who's wrestling or where someone's wrestling or what time, PAWrestling.com has everything. They have every match, every tournament, every single thing you can find for Pennsylvania wrestling. You can look up any wrestler. So shout out to PAWrestling.com. If you're bored on a Wednesday night and you want to sit at home and watch Netflix, go watch a wrestling tournament instead, or a wrestling match instead. I'm sorry. Just go on PA Wrestling. There'll be a match on there, I'm sure, within 20, 25 minutes from you. See what's available. And there's, like Cass said, there's tons of good ones tomorrow. So I'm excited to get out there, figure out where I'm going to go tomorrow. Me and the little guy will probably be out somewhere. So, but yeah, man. And Thursday, you're going to be out at St. Vincent with man. Yeah, man, that's very cool stuff. So I'm assuming
we'll be out there. Maybe
might have to sneak myself out there too, buddy.
Maybe there's a lot of good wing places out for before or after.
Twist my arm. All right, Cass. Appreciate you, brother. This is a good day. Good stuff. Good luck to you guys out there, and we will see you next week right here on Near Falls in the WPIAL.